Hey everyone, my name is François and today I'm going to be talking you through about how to build a website to maximize your conversions and your lead generation as a contractor. So, first off, you might be asking me, why do I need a website? So, 97% of customers search online for their products or their services, and it's only going to increase today as AI, kind of comes over. So it's going to get more and more and more important and harder to survive if you're not online, right? So people check out reviews, people check out websites. It's super important. So you need a website for your online presence and organic lead generation, right? It's really important, right? I can't stress it more. Unless you have a business that like almost exclusively lives out of referrals and you've been there for like 30 years, maybe then you don't need a website. Maybe that's like one of the very few cases. And even if you're looking to expand and like get more clients and grow your business, you 100% are going to need that website. So really important. Now let me kind of I guess talk you through that. If you look as a proportion of all of the small businesses, about 3/4 already have a website. About a quarter don't have a website but are setting it up. So these are probably, most of these people are those that, let's say, started off less than a year ago. So they're kind of looking into actively getting the website set up, because new businesses are starting and kind of every single day, right? So obviously new people need websites, and only a very small proportion are not looking and don't have a website, right? And these are really the ones that are going to be at disadvantage, right? Effectively, because if you don't have a website for a long time, and if you haven't been building up your presence for a long time, it's going to become harder and harder for you to remain credible. That said, it's important to have a professional website though. So not just any website, right? To have credibility, a professional looking website. So that's why I'm going to kind of quickly in the next slides talk you through what does that mean, professional website. So first of all, it means user-friendly design. So you can see an example of a website on the right-hand side for a contractor that we built. So as you can see, it's responsive on multiple different kinds of devices, on laptops, on tablets, on phones, so it works very well. A website should also load very fast, so the number I put over there, loads within 3 seconds. This is like the general recommended guidelines. Like if you don't load within 3 seconds, you're like in a very bad position in terms of SEO. Our websites always load within a second, and typically half a second, so we go like way beyond that milestone. Again, this is like the kind of minimum required. And websites also need to have a couple of tabs to allow for easy navigation. That's like really important. So I'm kind of going to be talking you through that in the next few slides as well. So the first very important slide is the homepage. Why is that important? So it's important because it's going to be showing, obviously, who you are, right? What you do, so that consumers can find you online and really know what you do, right? They're not guessing about what your services are. It's going to help you with a clear value proposition. Let's say, for example, expert home renovations in Sacramento. Like that's clear. Like people understand what it is. There's not ambiguity, and it's also going to have very good pictures, right? So that's like really important as well, right? Because you really want to make the client like you whenever they look at you online. It's the first impression you have, so it must be the best one. Homepage, really important. And as you could also see on the previous slide, there was a button saying, get started. So this is the call to action. This is what you want your customer to do when they actually find your website, right? So for example, on this website, on the right-hand side, I've got the call to action appearing in multiple places, right? Here, in the center, and in the top right, in 2 different colors, because you really want to make sure that this is what we want the person to do. Whenever someone finds that website, we want them to click on the button get started now. That's the goal, right? We don't care if someone goes on this website and just looks around and doesn't do anything. We want them to click there. Unless they click there, it's useless, right? Because you can go on all of these websites and all of these agencies and get a bunch of leads and lead generation and so forth, but these leads are useless unless they actually click on get started now. That's why we like prioritize this, because we actually care about real conversions, not just random leads coming on the website and not doing anything. So call to actions, super important. So pretty much they have to appear all over the place, right? We want to make sure that there's no way the client misses them. So next, the service pages, right? You can have one or multiple service pages depending on how many services you have, obviously. For example, over here, you can list your services. Let's say HVAC services. describe each of your services, their selling points, and ideally you also want to have a couple of testimonials over here, right? So if this is the continuation of the previous page I was showing, right, because it can't fit on one slide, so you need, if you have multiple services, you list all of them here, so it's going to help Google if you're doing, for example, SEO as well. It's always helpful, and your clients too, by the way, kind of understand all of the different services that you offer and be able to kind of suggest the right information. And it's also going to help your client understand better what you do, right? Because again, coming back to the same point, we don't want unqualified leads. The people who, you know, hit the button, get started now, or contact you, are only those that know that exactly what they need is exactly what you offer. And so that kind of clears out the ambiguity by being very like specific and precise about exactly what you offer. So now coming back to the About Us page. So the About Us page is also very important in terms of credibility and reputation. So people that are going to be looking at the About Us page typically want to learn more about you as a person or about your company as a whole, and say the history of the company. So it's usually good to have like a kind of explanation of, let's say, if you've been in the business for a long time, it's definitely good to list, like you can see here, 25 plus years in the business, right? If you have other stuff like values or missions, it's always good to put that as well, your logo, everything. So this is a very good place to kind of also put certifications and awards if you have any. So this is kind of really what's going to help you build trust with your potential prospects. So this is pretty much it for the About Us page. The Contact page, again, really not much here. The goal of this page is really just to be very straightforward. It's like a funnel basically. So the minute anybody lands here, we want them to fill in information and to contact you straight away. So the best thing to do is, again, just have the basic information out there. So, you know, if someone's looking for your number, we don't want them to be looking half an hour on the website trying to find your number. We want to make it very easy to find. Same thing for the email, same thing for your location. Sometimes you can put a map up there. It's not required, but it's sometimes good to have as well for SEO, as well as your business hours. It could be a good idea, right? Depending on, let's say, if you don't work on certain days or certain times, it's helpful for your prospects to know when to contact you, because the least thing we want is a prospect to contact you and then you don't answer. And so this is best in that case to set up something like the missed call text back feature, which what it does is that it saves someone texts you or calls you at this number, it's going to automatically text them back in case of a missed call. So I've got another video on the channel about this, so you can also check it out. I'd recommend. So this is basically when we set up an automation that whenever someone calls you and you don't pick up, it's automatically going to text them. So that's also really, really powerful to help increase your conversions. Again, the final thing I wanted to kind of talk about, one of the final pieces is testimonials and reviews. So these are also super important together with the About Us page to help build that trust and social proof. So it's really important to have genuine, good testimonials to show up. So typically you want to put them both on your Google Business profile and then kind of copy them over to your website. So let's say if someone else is looking at you, they can see, oh yeah, other people also liked working with that person. So it kind of really helps with that aspect of like kind of trust and social proof. So it's very, very important as well, right? Because this is kind of like it's one of the most important sections of your website, I would say. So now let me continue. So the last piece, right? I was saying the previous one was the last piece in terms of the website itself. Now this is kind of the very important piece in terms of the goal of the website, right? So there's two ways you can use a website. Basically, one, a website, you can use it. Let's say if you have business cards, you put the website on there, give it to a bunch of people. People see it and they contact you, right? This is like a good use of a website, right? Then the people see it's professional. The second use of a website is to actually make your website rank, let's say, in the first page of Google, so people can find you easier, right? That's SEO, basically. Now, SEO is actually much, much harder to do than a basic website. So two websites can be looking exactly the same home pages, but one can be just a basic website and the second one can be optimized for SEO, have a bunch of blogs and so forth. So this is where keyword research becomes important, because you want to start off in a particular area with a particular service. I'm going to be putting out another video on the channel pretty soon about SEO, because that's like a whole other topic, and I can actually, spend hours and maybe even days talking about it. There's a massive amount of things to cover. But keep in mind that usually the more effective thing to do if your local business is actually local SEO. So this is more kind of about optimizing your Google Business profile and your Google Maps SEO. So let's say if someone is looking specifically up on Google Maps, not just Google in general, you show up on Google Maps, the first page rather than just Google as a whole. Because if you're on Google as a whole, then you're competing against like, you know, Angie's List and Home Advisor and House and all those other websites. If you're on Google Maps, like it's usually easier to rank first. So usually local SEO is much easier and, you know, much more kind of predictable to get results over there than SEO. But again, I'm going to be publishing videos on SEO and local SEO pretty soon, so you can understand. So yeah, that's pretty much it for SEO for websites. And so now this is basically what we write at Nearby Growth, what we can do to help you in terms of a website. So we specialize in building websites for contractors. We only work with contractors. So specifically in terms when it comes down to websites, so you could see examples of the websites we built in the previous sections. I shared a couple of samples, right, of pages of how they look like. So all of our websites have a homepage, a contact page, an about page, and if you want any additional pages like blogs, this would then come into SEO, which is like a separate service, but fundamentally this is kind of what you get with a website. So all of the necessary things to get a professional and reputable presence online. We also have CTAs, so call to actions that are optimized for contractors, right, that we've pretty much tested right through multiple different websites, and we know what works and what doesn't. Our websites are also developed in a professional manner, right, which means we actually work on the lower level codes and principles of how and the way the website loads, which allows us to, you know, make it load faster than, say, if you would go on like a random website builder and get a website up and running, which actually also helps with SEO. So again, I said a website must load within 3 seconds, and that includes like everything, the pictures and blah blah blah. Our websites always load within a second, and most of them half a second, and it's kind of also depending on your own internet quality and where you are located, but usually half a second, right? And so this is also very, very important for SEO. And we also offer hosting for free, right, as part of the website package, and unlimited updates. As long as you stay with us, you can pretty much, whenever you want to change something, make any update to the website, yeah, we can do that for you. We also don't have any setup fees, so we really just charge a monthly fee for the website, and we build it basically without any setup. It's really crafted for contractors, because often contractors need to like update their websites on like a regular basis. Let's say add a new review or a new testimonial, or let's say, I don't know, change something, or like a phone number, whatever. And so we 100% help contractors with that. So yeah, I guess if that sounds something that would interest you, you can just check us out at nearbygrowth.com. I've put a link in the description, and also book a call with us over there. I'd be happy to kind of guide you through what we can do to help you in terms of a website, but not just in terms of a website, but since we actually do a lot more things for contractors. So I've just included this as a brief overview of all of the things that we do. So again, I'll be creating more videos soon, as I mentioned, about, for example, SEO, right, and the Google Business Profile setup. But typically, once you get a website out, the goal is to kind of help you rank it higher in Google. So this is kind of step 2, and this is when directory submissions come in over. This is when you also want to set up your Google Business Profile. Then you're going to have a bunch of, you know, leads, prospects coming in. So you're going to need to have kind of CRM, which is a customer relations management system. So where all of your clients, you know, it's a unified way, like a master inbox, to handle all of your clients coming in from your Google Business Profile, from the website. You can handle all of them in one place and track which channel actually provides which results. So you can actually kind of filter down and narrow down what works and what doesn't, right, to not waste money on, you know, lead generation techniques that don't work. So then you can actually figure out, oh, this lead came through Angie, this lead came through organically through a Google search, this lead came through, I don't know, if you're doing flyers, so you can actually figure this out. Once you're there, typically you want to do reputation management. This is helping you get reviews out there so that you get like, you know, 10, 20, 30 reviews. Otherwise it's very hard to be competitive. Then this is also kind of the time when you want to get missed call text back, auto missed call text back. So let's say if anybody texts back, you don't miss them. And then obviously you can start getting into ads to help you scale once everything else is ready. And if you have that much volume, something else that we also set up for businesses is even AI assistants using artificial intelligence. So they automatically take care of nurturing the prospects and kind of following up with them, and they can actually even talk live, voice to your prospects. So let's say if you're in the field and you can't take a call, they're going to speak to your AI receptionist. That's very, very, very powerful as well. And as a last step, what we also do, if you're looking to grow in the long term, is organic social media management. And this is kind of where you start posting online. But again, the first step to all of that is the website. So that's why I'm kind of dedicated this whole presentation and video to the website in particular, because it's really, really important. It's like step number 1. You can't do any of the other steps unless you have the website. Really, really hard. So with that said, I hope this video was kind of helpful to you. So yeah, if you want to work together with us, I'd be happy to simply give you some advice or talk more about what we can do to help you at nearbygrow.com. So just check out our website or book a call, link in the description. And I guess in any case, I look forward to speaking to you, right? So bye.